I read a lot of great books in the month of March, so let's get into it. The first one was The Tell by Amy Griffin, and it's phenomenal. It's really sad, it's really heavy. It's about sexual assault and her survival, so could be triggering for some, but it is phenomenal. I highly recommend it. And she also has had an extraordinary career, which is not included in the book, but that was the cool thing that I learned learning more about her as an author. And then I also read Scrambled or Sunny Side Up, which is by Lauren Reininger. And again, this was a sad one, but it was a good one, and it's mostly about the loss of her husband. Then on a much lighter note, I read Why Not Me by Mindy Kaling, and she's a comedian and a phenomenal writer, so it's really excellent, but I especially liked her conversation on confidence and where it comes from. And then the next two books, they were two by the same author. So the first one is called Why Has No One Told Me This Before? And then the other is called Open When, and they're both by Dr. Julie Smith, and she's a clinical psychologist from Britain. She's also a phenomenal social media follow, so highly recommend her there. But they're both great. One is about more like general principles for good mental health, and the other one, Open One, is like, this is what you should read in the moment when you really need it. And then this last one I read with my husband. It's called The Gap and the Gain, and it's by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy, and it's excellent. It sounds really simple, but it's very powerful. It's all about focusing on what you've achieved and how far you've come, rather than on all that you're still yearning to achieve, but without relinquishing on your high goals. So lastly, time for a giveaway. If you're interested in a copy of each of these books in whatever format you prefer, check out the caption for more.